Welcome. Today we explore informed consent and confidentiality in Canadian counseling, using the CCPA Code of Ethics and ethical decision-making literature. Ethics focus on accountability, transparency, care, and protecting client dignity. Ethics are vital because they ensure client protection and support trust in counseling relationships. They guide decision-making during uncertainty and help balance care, power, and professional responsibility. Remember, ethics are relational, not merely legal. Ethical decision-making models help us navigate complexity. They encourage us to pace ourselves, analyze competing duties, and take a holistic view of the situation, considering law, culture, and well-being. They promote professional rigor and ethical humility, acting as a map for ethical navigation. Common approaches include principle-based, focusing on universal rules, and virtue-based, focusing on character. Quick checks offer intuitive safety measures, while wise practices provide a culturally grounded relational lens. All approaches ultimately ask, what best protects dignity, safety, and trust? Informed consent can become challenging in situations like client intoxication, acute crisis, or when coercion is present. Misunderstandings and changing counseling goals also require revisiting consent. Informed consent is an ongoing process, not a one-time event. When a client arrives intoxicated, key concerns include meaningful consent and immediate safety risk. Counselors must decide on session continuity and thoroughly document the situation. These are key ethical concerns for practice. Informed consent requires clients to understand the nature and goals, risks and benefits, confidentiality limits, fees and records, technology use, and their right to withdraw. Consent is a foundational element of ethical clinical practice. Consent is an ongoing conversation. We revisit consent when goals change, new interventions are introduced, or when using telehealth and AI. We must also revisit it if new risks emerge. Regularly revisiting consent ensures transparency and ethical compliance. Confidentiality provides emotional safety, builds trust, and encourages honest disclosure. It involves protecting records, privacy, and client dignity, forming the bedrock of the therapeutic relationship. Confidentiality is limited. Disclosure must occur in cases of risk of harm, suspected abuse or neglect of a minor or vulnerable adult, or when legally required or court-ordered. Therapists have an ethical and legal duty to breach confidentiality in these specific circumstances. In the digital age, key considerations include telehealth privacy, secure communication using encryption, and managing risks associated with AI documentation and digital storage. Establishing clear email and texting boundaries is also important. Digital security is an essential extension of ethical practice. Professional responsibility involves maintaining competence, strong self-awareness of biases, applying sound ethical decision-making, and committing to professional development. Counselors must uphold these standards to ensure the highest quality of service. When dealing with court orders and subpoenas, ethical disclosure limits apply. Receiving a subpoena does not automatically mean full disclosure is appropriate. We must prioritize privacy protection whenever possible. Navigating legal demands requires balancing law and ethical responsibility. Ethical practice demands cultural humility, including awareness of power dynamics and respect for diverse worldviews. It requires continuous reflection on bias and contextual understanding of social and historical influences. Integrating humility ensures equitable and respectful care. As a final reflection, remember that informed consent and ethical decision-making are ongoing processes. Strong counselors remain accountable by reflecting, consulting, and revisiting consent throughout treatment. Ethics is a continuous journey of professional integrity, not a destination. These references guided the content on Canadian counseling ethics, including the CCPA's Code of Ethics and Standards of Practice, along with an important text on ethics in a Canadian context.